What is going on, guys? It is Play on Daily Fantasy Sports bringing you another set of NBA, DraftKings, and Fanduel player picks for Tuesday, February 5th. Now, quick recap of last night, as always. It was really hot and cold on some players, but in the end, the two guys that I really was stressing to get in most of my lineups were De'Aaron Fox and DeMar DeRozan. They both went out and performed, and as a result, ended up being a pretty solid night. I think I cashed one slate a little over double, and then the other one broke even. So, any night you profit, you will take. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and hop into some of our picks for today. And the first thing we're going to be looking at is DraftKings guards. The first guard that I'm going to throw out there today is going to be Jaylen Brown. Now, Jaylen Brown has a great opportunity tonight. Several other Celtics are out, including Kyrie Irving. And really, when Kyrie's been out, if you've watched any Celtics games, Jaylen has been that alpha dog, the guy taking all the shots and really taking over the game. So I like Jaylen Brown tonight. I think he's a solid play, and I think 4,900 is too cheap of a play for him. The next guy that I'm going to recommend is going to be Corey Joseph. Joseph had a pretty solid game last night. He hit his value. He struggled for a bit, but really he ended up playing a lot of minutes. And due just to getting that volume of minutes is the reason I really like him tonight against a weak LA Lakers defense. I think Joseph is a great play tonight for his salary, and I think that he can be the type of guy that can really help set your lineup over the top. He's going to be a little under-owned, and so having him go off can really help. And finally, the last guy that I am going to recommend tonight, I'm going to recommend a little bit more pricey of a play, but that guy is going to be Russell Westbrook. Orlando's defense is awful, and I really like Westbrook tonight. He's the top play that I'm targeting, that big expensive player that I really want on my roster. He's really not that much more expensive than George at this point, and I just think that Russell Westbrook in this type of matchup, triple double is well within reach. I definitely think he hits it, and just the pure amount of points you'll get from him is just tough to pass up. With some other value plays in there, I think he is a top guy to look at. So next, let's go ahead and hop in and look at our forwards on DraftKings. The first guy I'm going to recommend is going to be Daniel Theis. With Marcus Morris out tonight for the Celtics, Theis is going to look to get a huge minute increase. They're right now projecting him at about 26 minutes for this game, which if I can get 26 minutes out of a 3,500 Daniel Theis, I will take it. I think Theis is a great play tonight, and I highly recommend rostering him on both sites. The next guy that I'm going to go ahead and throw out there is going to be Theis's teammate, and that's going to be Gordon Hayward. Hayward's listed as a power forward now on DraftKings, so he's a small forward and power forward. Hayward is a very flexible guy. They're facing, the weak Cleveland defense without Kyrie and Morris. Those two guys, in case you were wondering, they account for over 60% of the usage rate for the Celtics. They are just massive. They're involved in almost every play. So I think that having both of them out is really going to benefit guys like Hayward, Brown, Theis, to get more shots up and to get more opportunities to create with the ball. And the final guy that I'm going to recommend is going to be the center position, and that's going to be Serge Ibaka. They're going to play him a lot tonight against the 76ers. He's actually, on the websites I'm looking at, is projected 34 and 35 minutes. So if he's getting those minutes, I think a 6,200 Ibaka is a great play to have. So finally, I'm going to go ahead and give you guys my cash lock for the night, and that cash lock is going to be Daniel Theis. I really think fading him on any site is going to be extremely risky. Facing the weak defense with the big minute projections, I think that Theis is the type of guy you're going to want to roster on every possible slate. So next, let's go ahead and hop into FanDuel player projections. And the first guy that I'm going to go ahead and recommend on FanDuel is going to be Jared Bayless. Bayless has been playing great recently, and especially with the news that, Rose, Teague, company, their whole team is just so battered at that position. Bayless has just been a great play. This is actually going to be a more slow down type game against Memphis, but those are the types of environments that Bayless thrives in. Given his age, he doesn't want to be in a fast tempo game. So Jared Bayless is a guy I am targeting tonight. The next guard that I'm really looking at is going to be a guy that I've already recommended on other slates on DraftKings, but that's going to be Jaylen Brown. Again, just so cheap on this site. I think you have to play Jaylen Brown on FanDuel. And the final guard that I'm going to go ahead and recommend is going to be another shooting guard. That's going to be Andrew Wiggins. Again, against this Memphis team, which should be a gritty, close game, someone's going to have to take over. And besides Towns and Bayless, Wiggins is really the only other guy on the roster capable of that. I think Wiggins' salary at $6,100 is very cheap, and I think fading him could be a very risky move. So next, let's go ahead and hop into the forward position. So the first forward guy that I'm going to throw out there is going to be Jason Tatum. Now, the thing about Tatum on FanDuel that makes him a little bit more enticing is since you can only have 4 Celtics, I think that you've got Brown and Feast, which are auto locks, but I really think Tatum comes in as the next best play on FanDuel. His defense helps get him, a few extra points given the bonus points for steals and blocks on FanDuel. And I really think tonight, given the matchup, given the guys who are out, Tatum is going to be a very high-owned and great play. And the next guy that I'm going to go ahead and recommend is going to be Joel Embiid. Embiid is the big price guy that I like. A big game against Toronto in the Eastern Conference. This is not going to be a game that the 76ers are going to want to, play light minutes with him or anything. This is the type of game that they need 110% from Embiid, and for that reason, I think he is a great roster. And the final guy that I'm going to go ahead and recommend tonight on FanDuel is going to be Aaron Gordon. Against Oklahoma City, I think Gordon is a great play. As long as George isn't guarding him 100% of the time, I think he's going to be able to exploit some of the defensive matchups. He's projected a whopping 36 minutes tonight on both sites that I'm looking at. And I really just like Gordon. I think he's a budding star, and he just hasn't had that great of a year, to be honest. But I like him tonight. I think that this is the type of game that can get him back on track, back towards the conversation of being a budding star, not just being a guy that's already, sort of hit his peak. And finally, the cash lock that I'm going to go ahead and give out on FanDuel is going to be Jaylen Brown. I think Brown's really a cash lock on both sites, similar to Thies. But with Brown's low salary, the matchup, all the narratives, I think Brown is a guy you'll have to roster. So as always, thanks for tuning into this video. Hopefully these picks and projections gave you some information that'll help you on this slate. And as always, if you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments section below. And also make sure to subscribe and like this video if you wish to continue seeing daily sports videos. Thank you.